Hey guys, this is Ben Gothard. Again, we're here with Chris Jones. How you doing, Chris?
I'm good, thank you, Ben.
So, Chris is an experienced and very successful Amazon FBA seller, and he has graciously given us some of his time to talk about Amazon FBA, specifically how to get ungated in a category on Amazon. Okay, and I want to talk a little bit about that. Maybe give a little bitty overview of exactly what Amazon FBA is, and then talk about how to get ungated in the category on Amazon.
Okay, so hi guys. So FBA is essentially it's a platform. It's a platform where you can sell your products, whether you go and buy them from a store like Walmart or Tesco in the UK, wherever, and you buy these products at a reduced price. Normally, that is like retail arbitrage, which is normally classed as RA. We won't go into that too much. We'll cover that in a different video. Or you can do the private label model, which I prefer, and I have done that for the last 17 months, where I'm not going to say you like slap a logo or a label on the product, but essentially that's what you're doing, and you're trying to differentiate from all the other products on market into the category that you want to go into. From there, once all of those units are produced from your supplier manufacturer overseas, China being one of the most popular, they will send in your stock to Amazon's fulfillment centers, which are all around the world. And when customers buy those products, Amazon will ship them out directly to your customers, while you can sit back and work on your business and not in your business.
Beautiful,
So yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. And so we'll go into the ungated stuff?
Let's do it.
Okay, so this is something that people have been asking me about, and I honestly get at least 2 to 3 questions per day just on this section, which is very, very important. I'm not sure why I haven't written a blog post about this yet, but we're doing a video, the next best thing. So yeah, how to get ungated in a category on Amazon. Okay, so let me give you a breakdown. So I didn't have a clue about this when I started to sell on Amazon. My main focus 17 months ago was I want the best design in my category. I want the best product. I want the best look and feel to my product. And I want to get as many reviews as possible, honest and unbiased reviews. And I just wanted as much exposure to my listing as possible. Like I didn't know the ins and outs, what the processes were to go through certain barriers like ungated to get into a category. And so I got hit with this kind of like fear when I was about to send products in, and this you have to get ungated before you can create a product listing. That's the scary thing. The other scary thing, which I'll go over some of this stuff in more detail in a minute. So the other scary thing with going into a gated category is that you have to get this. You have to order your product from supplier before you can go into the approval process on Amazon to get ungated. So that means if your stock costs £5,000 and you're looking to go into a gated category, which is like supplements in the health and personal care, grocery, like selling coffee, tea, condiments and food and stuff like that, consumer products, you actually have to place an order with your supplier to then get a paid invoice, to use that paid invoice to prove to Amazon that you're a legitimate company, that you've made a legitimate order, for them to then go and process your approval statements, like your paid invoice, and then potentially accept you. If you do things right and follow this process that I'm about to teach you now, this has worked 13 out of 13 times that I've helped various of my clients to pass through this category. And that goes with many other categories that are gated, not just health and personal care and grocery, but those two being two of the main ones. So what other information do we need to give here? So I always go through the process. And let me just point out, once you're ungated in the category, you're ungated. It's like the gates are open. So once you want to bring a new product out in that category, you don't have to then go and get a further ungate request to sell in that category. God, how many times am I going to say category in this thing? So there's 3 things that Amazon asks you for in the approval process. Number 1 is your company registration document. Now, so you want that company registration document with your name, the company name, number of shareholders, the date your business was established, maybe the date that you're going to start trading, all of this stuff, like your business certification, your business document, like from the legal standpoint where you get it. Number 2 is a paid invoice. And obviously this is the most scariest thing for people, especially the guys starting out. You have to pay the suppliers to then get a paid invoice. You can't just use an invoice. You can't just use an invoice. You get a paid invoice to then show the supplier. So you've got to have the supplier's information, address, phone number, all of the details. You've got to have the product information, the units ordered, the amount it costs. You've got to have the supplier's signature. This is key. Have the supplier's actual signature of them writing it down so they can scan that document and send it over to you. Also get their name in print, their date in print, and also get them, like people don't do this. This is what works. Get them to sign the actual date of that as well, so it matches the print. Also, this is key, getting a paid with thanks stamp onto that invoice, covering some of that white paper. So people an actual paid with stamp. So they stamp it on the invoice, okay? I know this sounds like I'm going over it, but make sure you get that done, because that shows Amazon like a very well-established, supplier you're working with, and it just shows legitimacy, and that's what you want. Whew, okay, and number 3, now this worked for me at the start, and that is just providing a website URL. So like a domain name. So like, www.theamazonsuperstar.com. So making sure your business has a company website, but you don't actually have to have that website in full creation. So I started out when I just bought the actual domain name from www.godaddy.com. Go over there to purchase all your domain names, guys. I think it's like £5 or £6 to do so. I just bought it, and all I did was sent the actual document of receipt to Amazon and said, this website is in creation, and that was pretty much it. 24 or 48 hours later, I was approved in Health and Personal Care, a totally new private label company that no one knew. So for those guys out there who are already established out in retail, or they've got their own website, this should be a breeze. As long as you provide as much detail as you possibly can, then you should be fine. And just don't worry, don't stress when you go through a gated category, guys. Go through the process, because Amazon aren't there to just disregard you after you paid for stock. They actually want your customer, believe it or not. So don't get stressed. Just take the action, implement the right structures and strategies that I've just told you, which are number 1, the company registration document. Number 2, a paid invoice from your supplier. And number 3, your website URL. It doesn't even have to be a built website at that point. So there we are. I hope that's helped.
Thank you so much for jumping on, and everybody else, have a good one.
Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.